Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So if you saw my last video, I took a deload week, which meant that in terms of my muscle ups, I went from weighted to resistance band muscle ups and bodyweight muscle ups basically. And I always forget how nice it is to take a deload week. I usually schedule my deload weeks like every 6 to 10 weeks depending on how tired I feel, how hard I've been training and so on. But that is a great tip to schedule your deload weeks, and also a tip to myself is not to forget them, because before this deload I don't even remember how long ago it was that I took one. I completely forgot about it. So when I'm coming back from a deload, I don't jump into the same weights as I did before. This week I will slowly come back, including weighted muscle ups, but reducing the weight. So as usual, I will do a couple of warm-up reps with the purple band. Is muscle ups your primary pull exercise, or you do pull-ups as well? So at the moment, muscle ups and weighted muscle ups is my primary pull exercise. I used to do a lot of weighted pull-ups, focusing to be explosive. So if your goal is the muscle up, I would strongly recommend training your weighted pull-ups as well, but with the muscle-up technique, keeping your elbows forward and focus on being as explosive as you can. Let's say I add 20-30 kilos to my weighted pull-ups. They won't be explosive like chest-to-bar pull-ups, but I will focus anyway to be as explosive as I can when doing them. That is a great tip for unlocking more of your explosive power. So maybe do that once a week and muscle-ups once a week. And my tip when warming up is think about the technique as much as you would in your working set. So when I'm doing my resistance bands warm up, I'm always focused on the technique. So the purpose of the warm up for me is to wake my body up, wake my explosiveness up, and also dial in the technique before moving on to heavier reps. Okay, moving on to the black band. Alright guys, moving on to body weight. So I just want to share with you something that me and my client had a discussion about this week, and that is the half muscle up. So he basically asked me to explain the half muscle up, like what is it, what's the benefit of it, and so on. The answer I gave him can benefit you as well, so I just want to include that in this video. All the reps that I'm doing in this video I will do as half muscle ups, just to show you the importance of it in every step of your muscle up journey. So basically a half muscle up is exactly as it sounds. It's the half portion of the muscle up, so you're just pulling up and resting your chest on the bar basically. So you take away the equation of the dip. It can be easier mentally because all you have to think about is resting your stomach on the bar. So you don't have to do the entire muscle up, so to speak. So just focus on resting your chest on the bar. Another benefit of that is instead of doing high explosive pull-ups, do half muscle ups. Because when you're doing half muscle ups, you will know exactly how high you have to pull to be able to transition over the bar. So if you're doing high pull-ups to like the bottom of your chest, it's going to be really hard to transition. You might have to be able to pull almost to your belly button to be able to rest your stomach on the bar. So I'm going to do a body weight half muscle up now. So I rested my stomach on the bar, and then I chose to push up, but you can just drop down, do another rep, or just do singles like that. So I just want to read this awesome comment from Tyrone. Hey Mike, it's going okay. Just had to humble myself, brother, and relearn the muscle up this way. So doing the bands, but also doing weighted pull-ups and muscle ups on my hard day. Rest a day or two, then just banded muscle ups pyramid. So just gotta stay consistent. Also I know if I drop 10 pounds, it will be much easier, but don't want to drop that much. Yeah, this is how it has been for me as well, and continue to be. Sometimes we just have to leave the ego behind and relearn a few things in the technique to make the muscle up easier easier and more efficient basically. Because let's say we have practiced the muscle up with a lot of kip, and now we want to learn the more strict muscle up. We might have to go back and use bands again, and that might feel a little bit, demotivating. But in the long run, it's much better to, relearn the strict technique. Because let's say you're practicing the muscle up with the kip all the time. It can be hard to unlearn that pattern, so to speak, to just relax the legs. So that's the great thing with resistance bands. You can learn the right technique from the beginning and progress slowly, band by band, until you finally can do your first clean bodyweight muscle up. So thanks for that, Tyrone. So one more warm-up rep, 1/2 muscle up before moving on to weighted muscle ups. So here I chose not to push up into the dip, but to just drop down. And this is an excellent way to learn the transition correctly. Once you can rest your stomach on the bar, you have the muscle up. And here we got another great tip. Moving the legs forward up during the transition is not cheating to generate momentum. It's to shift the center of mass of the body to the same plane as the bar, or even in front of it. That way it's easier to do the transition. When people do strict, slow muscle up, they always have the body in the L-sit, L-hang position for that reason. Thanks for that tip and clarification. I brought my ankle weights today instead of the plates, because it was easier today to transport them. So I have 2 kilos on, so I will keep the exact same technique. I'll do a 1/2 muscle up, either push up into the dip or just come down. So continuing with the warm-up. Okay guys, continuing with the warm-up. 2 kilos on each leg, 4 kilos in total. So I'll do a 1/2 muscle up, rest my chest on the bar, and then push up into the dip. Sorry, I'm curious, how many kilos are necessary to do a good muscle up? Thanks. That's a really hard question to answer, but I would recommend doing weighted pull-ups as explosive as you can if your goal is the muscle up. But the exact amount you have to pull in order to do a muscle up, I don't know. Continuing with the warm-up. 6 kilos in total. Unfortunately, I don't have any more weights to add on my ankle weights because each 1 kilo bag is made of sand and they broke basically. So 6 kilos is all I have, so that's what I have to work with. One more muscle up with 6 kilos, but this time I'm just gonna do the 1/2 muscle up, thinking about driving my chest over the bar. So here we got a great tip from Matt. We can do muscle ups in a lot of styles. Personally, I train weighted muscle ups and weighted pull-ups combined with body weight, but explosive muscle ups and pull up as high as possible. In first part of training week, I'm working on strength, and second part on explosive exercises to turn strength into power. Results are magic. Great advice, Matt. Thank you so much for that. Drop the weight to 4 kilos as I'm slowly coming back after my deload. So I'll do 2 1/2 muscle ups. Three 1/2 muscle ups. So my man Tyrone says, greetings, basically hollow means throwing your head like a headbutt. Personally, that works for me. Love that advice, Tyrone. Yeah, it's important to throw the chest over the bar or throw the head over the bar to make the transition easier so we don't have to rely on our arms for everything. Great that that works for you, Tyrone. Continuing with the pyramid, 2 1/2 muscle ups. Last rep of the pyramid. And as usual, a bodyweight cool down muscle up, keeping the exact same technique as I have done through the workout.